Hi everyone, welcome to another short demonstration. I thought what I'd do is show you the difference that shadows can make to a painting. Now, this painting of this main street in Appletreewick, it's a village in the Yorkshire Dales, is a commission. And I know people are going to say we would have loved to seen your processes involved. But to be fair, and unusually for me, to get to this stage on this commission, it's taken about 3 or 4 hours. So that would have been a really long, laborious YouTube video. So what I thought I'd do is to show you just what difference a really strong shadow makes. I'm going to show you the reference photograph that it was taken from. There you go. And the shadow colour I've mixed, let me bring the palette in. Look, there you go, it's shadow colour. I've used Payne's Grey, Cobalt Blue, Ultramarine Violet, and a bit of this, it's Venetian Red, because I want a really warm shadow colour. So let me put that back down, and I'm now going to add the shadow. It looks like a fairly sunny scene, and I dare say most people might be pleased with that as it is, but I know it can look so much better. There's no dynamic in it. There's no literally there's no light and shade in it. So let me get this on. I've got lots of water on this, look, and I remember doing this at a demonstration not so long ago. In fact, it happened. I remember those demonstrations in front of live audiences. Whoops, I just need to concentrate there. And there were gasps when I actually covered up the colour underneath with the shadow colour. But as we all know, colours do dry paler, lighter, so all of this will come through again, and all of this is in shade, all of this, and even now just a bit of shadow on. You can see when I move my hand, right, this is a trick, this is the bit that's going to give it some, what I think is interesting, a bit more dynamics. Now the shadow is coming across that step and all the way out there, so I can do that. All of this edge stuff will go behind the mount when I mount it. Let's have a look. A bit there and a bit there, that side of the step, that side of the step, and down onto the road. And then it's this. That's coming across there, a bit more like that. And then we need to move on to these cottages in the far side. Which will, sorry, I'm just stirring up there. And for these, you know, I'm going to move to that was put on with a number 11 brush. It's just the one that I had to hand. For this work, that I think I want to, this telegraph pole there, I actually want to leave that. So let's get some excess water off there. You see, the front of that house there. And it's looking at details like this that actually give it a bit more life, and suddenly there's some interest there. Yeah, I think that Gable lens got some on, because I think the sun is literally just over there, so that would have some on. Certainly this porch is all in shadow. as is the front of this house, the front of that one. Yep, and this, not sure if it is a porch or an outbuilding or something. Let's have a look. Down there, along there, and this, all of this garden, in fact. But you might think, well, hang on, you put all that nice paint on there and then you're covering it up with the shadow colour. But if you look at the difference here, already it's drying. That's the mixed shadow colour, ultramarine violet, indigo, Payne's grey. It's a bluey Payne's grey and some, sorry, Venetian red. That looks different to this here, where there's a colour underneath, and this is starting to come through. Yeah, I think that gable end I've actually lightened down the wash here, and then I'll put it on that there. Let's see. Yeah, there's a bit of shadow there, but I've gone around. There's another telegraph pole down there, and one of the last things I'll do is to pen in a line that connects it, and then on this bit here, that's into the road, just slightly there. Some of these cast shadow into the road, and this all adds interest. Otherwise there's a white, kind of a white ribbon. Right, so we'll come to this side now. Now you'll see the way I've painted these trees and foliage. I've already created depth with that was a very light green gold painted over first, then some sap green, and then this very dark green that creates that real series of depth. That was undersea green, all Daniel Smith colours. So now what I need to do now is to put some shadow on there. I won't put any of this shadow colour on the trees because I think there's enough. That's the other way that you can add shadows, of course. You can use darker tones of the same basic colour. So light green, mid green, darker green, darkest green. And you don't need to, and there's a little passage there, side of the house, and that goes across there. Then the one trick, if you like, in adding shadow colour to a cottage or a building like this, where there's an eave there, the one thing, if you do nothing else, if you do this and add paint underneath the overhanging eaves, it will instantly give a sense of depth. There you go. And in fact, it comes down a bit more, almost to the tops of those windows, and there. And then what I will do, this whole gable end. Now this isn't the very final stage in this commission, when all this shadow colour is really dried. I will be going back in with the pen to finish some final detailing. And the most important thing of all, this is a post box. Look, let me bring this back in. There you go, it's a post box. And that pop of red, arguably, I know it's a cliche and it's a corny thing, but it really does work sometimes. Pop of a bright colour will help. And now, of course, because that's in shade, the side this side of the porch will be in shade as well. Come down behind there, around there. And that's much of the... Now I've just noticed I've actually not yet painted these chimneys and chimney pots there, so I'll go back in and do those afterwards. And then this all adds a bit more believability, a bit more dimension when you actually put your shadow colour on. And then there's a bit of a cast shadow look on the roof behind, and one that goes on the ridge tiles, and then that. Most of that will disappear behind the mount. And then the thing that really just makes it look so much more believable, these are kind of deep recessed windows, so there'll be shadow there, a shadow there, shadow on that one, shadow on that one, definitely one there, and one in the recess. There's the top of a window frame there, so I'll put that in. And this window, the door's actually on the side, I think. There's a garden gate. We'll put some shadow on there. And as far as shadows go, I think that's about it. So there you go. And I think if you rewind to the beginning where you just saw it without the... Actually, I've just noticed a bit more. Where you saw it without the shadows, I hope you'll agree there's a lot more interest now to it. Oh, picked up a bit of something on the brush there. And there's a bit of cast shadow on that foliage there. I'm being very careful. I'll leave that... I can't move it. I'll leave it when it's dried, so don't worry. Tiny bit of shadow there, and some on the end. Yeah, and I think that's about it. I mean, you can go back in, look, if you want to deepen the shadow effect and put another layer of this on there. And in fact, I will do in there. And it's just about creating a bit more interest in the scene. And in fact, in here, I think I'll go in and darken that, because it would be darker up to the edge of the window recess. And in fact, where this is the edge of the wall, look there. So all of this is going to be darker. And there you go. I think that's probably it now. So a bit more fiddling to do, a bit more. You see, I think that's a bit too straight there. So let's just break up this edge, and I'll put some hints of stones in there that I'll definitely go back in. And I've just noticed there's a tiny bit of white there, and I'll go back in with a pen there, and this will kind of blend in. Oh yeah, along the edge of this roof, look. I'll just take out that bit of white paper there. And there you go. So, I won't... There's Appletreewick. I won't show you the thing when it's finished, but what I will do is to take a photograph of it in the mount and post it on my Instagram page. So if you want to have a look at the finished scene of Appletreewick with all the final detail on, head on over to my Instagram page. The link is in the description below this video. And thanks again for all your continued support, and I'll see you on the next one, which I promise will include some drawing as well as that. And if anybody's interested, I will not be adding any colour to that because I think it's a fabulous leading up to the distance. There may be a bit more work go on up there because at the moment it's just a green blob, but yeah, fairly happy with that. And this is, you see, all the underlying paintwork is now starting to come through. Just spotted somewhere else that would benefit from, it's a window box underneath this, look, so that'll definitely look dark, and the door recess there on the edge of this. Excuse me. Yeah, so there you go. That's it. I'm not fiddling anymore with the shadows, so there you go. That's it as far as the shadow stage, and just a bit more pen work to do and that'll be finished. But as I say, I will share it on Instagram. So see you next time, and thanks again everybody. Bye for now.